Hello everyone! Kumusta? This is Che and welcome to my channel. Mabuhay from Philippines. This is my very beautiful yellow Vanda. She's very beautiful. And this is the first time that I've seen her blooms. Before, she gave me spikes, but they all blasted. And now I am very happy because she is very beautiful. This video is not only about this Vanda, we will talk about Thrips, but first let me show you how beautiful she is because this is the first time and I'm so happy to share her beauty with you. She is all yellow and I cannot believe that a single color can be this beautiful. And of course, I will post the name on the screen. Today, I will share with you about the thrips in my garden. It's so hard to know that they are in the garden until you see this. And it's heartbreaking. Sayang kaayo ang bulak. Damaged na. This is her older spike, and as you can see, all of the other buds are already dry. Wa nagyoy pag-asa. The flowers are damaged, and I have other orchids with thrips damage. I will show them to you. I will also talk about the things or signs that there are thrips in the garden, and the things that you can do that I will do to save my orchids. I will apply insecticide or pesticide, the strong one, and hopefully the thrips will be gone. This is her newer spike. Looks fine, but the buds are already starting to turn brown. And do you see the ant? Ants could be a sign that there are other insects in the garden. They could be mealybugs, thrips, or other insects. Ants may not be harmful, they may not damage your orchids, but they could be carriers of those other insects. Of course, there could be lots of factors because I grow my orchids outdoors, but ants could be one of them. This is my Vanda Pure Wax Blue. Really huge and waxy flowers. I really love this Vanda, and the color is purple, not blue. Only the name is blue, and I will show you the thrips damage. Damages on the flowers is the biggest sign that there are thrips in the garden, and even thick flowers can be damaged by thrips. This should be the last flower, but the bud totally dried up. But thankfully, the other flowers opened. But I will show you the other damage on this Vanda. The flowers have scars. You see the brown spots and the wrinkling, the curling of the flowers. This is a newly opened flower, but this will not last long because of the thrips damage. Aside from the brown spots and the curling of the flowers, white lines can be also a sign that there were thrips here or there are still thrips here. And you see here, white line, white spots, brown spots. These were damaged by thrips. Flowers with thrips damage will not last long. This Vanda have thick flowers. The flowers can last longer, but because of the thrips, that won't happen. This is an old flower and I didn't notice thrips damage before, but now when I check my orchids, I see this white line which is a sign of thrips presence. So maybe the thrips were here longer than I thought, or maybe I brought the thrips with me when I brought the orchids here in the garden. I think that I would just cut off this spike. All of the buds are dried, and one thing to stop thrips infestation is to cut off all of the flower spikes, but it's hard for me to do that. So I will just spray insecticide or pesticide, but this one is really damaged. I will cut this spike because the orchid is also not in a very good shape. I got this bud from the other pot below. This is from this dendrobium. The buds kept on falling. Hopefully these other buds will open. This flower has thrips damage. This is the bud which fell on the other orchid's pot, and hopefully you see the baby thrips. This is their other way of transport. When the buds from infected orchids fell on the other orchids, then the other orchids will have thrips also. Let's see if I can find adult thrips. Let's see if I can find adult thrips here. This is also an older flower. I brought this orchid from my other garden, from my hometown garden, to here with spike. And I see an adult thrips, the tiny black insect, and I have read that they can be of different colors. I will show you a close-up. Hello everyone! Today is August 13, few days after I tried to make a video about thrips. I wasn't able to finish that day. I wasn't able to spray my orchids because I have some things needed to be done. And here's my beautiful yellow vanda. This is the newer spike and thrips damage is now visible. I will show you the other vanda which I also showed you that day. This is what's left of my Vanda Pure Wax Blue. The flower should have lasted longer, but because of thrips, this is how she looked right now. I watered my orchids and plants first. I brought all of my other plants here so that I can also spray them with insecticide or pesticide. This is the insecticide or pesticide that I used, and I bought this from Shopee. I have also used Ascend before for thrips, but this is what I have now. I have also used this only once in my other garden or in my hometown garden because there were thrips there. My garden was surrounded with fruit trees, so maybe the thrips came from there. And when I brought my orchids here, I have also brought the thrips with the orchids. This was effective, but I think that I should have sprayed again, or maybe I really cannot control the thrips in my other garden because it is surrounded by other plants and trees and I cannot spray all of them. I wasn't able to film when I apply this or when I spray this to my orchids and plants because it was hard. I was wearing gloves, long sleeves, masks, and face shield to protect me because I think that this pesticide or insecticide is a strong one and it has a strong odor like malathion. So I have to be safe, and my garden here is very small, so I can be sprayed also if I will not protect myself. So I also closed all our windows and doors and turned off our air conditioner to be safe. So how did I apply this to my orchids? First, I watered all of my orchids and plants first, and then I used my sprayer. I used 1 tablespoon of this to 16 liters of water, and then I sprayed all over the plants or orchids, the leaves, the roots, and the flowers, especially the flowers because that is where I found the thrips. I applied this early in the morning. I wanted to apply this in the afternoon, however, It is very windy during the afternoon and it is very risky for me to spray myself, so I applied this in the morning. I am done spraying my orchids and plants, but I wasn't able to film that because it was hard for me to do that with only two hands and I was wearing gloves, mask, and face shield. I sprayed my orchids and plants from top to bottom, the leaves, the roots, even the pots, and especially the flowers. And right now, the smell is bad, really strong, just like malathion. And hopefully, the smell will be gone in the afternoon because we will be turning on our air conditioner and the smell will be in our room. So if the smell won't be gone in the afternoon, I might wash my orchids. It is afternoon. It didn't rain the whole day. We went out and now we are back, but the smell is still here, so I will wash my orchids and plants, and hopefully the insecticide or pesticide have already affected the thrips. Good morning, everyone! Today is August 31, weeks after I applied insecticide or pesticide for thrips, and now I cannot tell if that was effective or not. I cannot tell if there are still thrips in the garden, but we will see the flowers in the garden and hopefully there are no more thrips. I actually wanted to apply again or to spray again, but I wasn't able to. And this is my beautiful Vanda. I have a video about her, and she was in spike when I sprayed the insecticide or pesticide. And let's see her flowers if there are signs of thrips. But before that, I want to tell you how I sprayed or washed my orchids in the afternoon. It was very late when I finished. It was already dark, so I wasn't able to film. I used lemon dishwashing liquid in the water to spray my orchids and plants, and it was effective. The smell was instantly gone after I washed my orchids with that solution. Before I applied that, I watered my orchids first and then I applied the lemon with dishwashing liquid, and then after that I washed my orchids again with plain water. So this is my beautiful Vanda. I will post the name on the screen. Let's check her if there are signs of thrips. And I see that there are still signs of thrips. But for this newer flower, she looks perfect. She is very beautiful and these buds look very healthy. Hopefully the thrips are really gone. Another beautiful Vanda, I will also post her name on the screen. She also looks perfect. She was also in spike when I sprayed the insecticide or pesticide. This was the dendrobium, which bud fell on the other orchid spot. These are the surviving flowers. These are the buds left which are able to flower, and hopefully thrips are gone. This is my mini Aya. She has a few flowers opened when I applied the insecticide or pesticide. I broke this spike, but there are more spikes on her. I really love this dendrobium. The flowers and buds of this phalaenopsis look healthy, although the older flowers which were already open when I applied insecticide or pesticide have thrips damage, but hopefully the other buds and flowers will have no signs of thrips. Hopefully the thrips are gone. I don't want to apply the insecticide or pesticide again. This is my Phalaenopsis samara, a very fragrant orchid. This is the last one that I will show you. Of course, there are other orchids here which are in bud or in spike, but I think that this video might be too long. The flowers look perfect and the new buds as well. Hopefully the thrips are gone and I won't need to apply insecticide or pesticide again. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for being with me. Hopefully you are already subscribed to my channel, and if not yet, please subscribe and don't forget to like this video. Also, please leave a comment down below. You can also further support my channel by using the super thanks button or by checking my merch through the link in the description or in my channel's store tab. Thank you so much! Maraming salamat! Thank you for watching! Paalam! See you on my next videos.